Welcome to Insight Plug, the podcast where independent creators and entrepreneurs connect and inspire. I'm your host, Devon Jones. Today on our show, we have actor Kris Loranger. Kris, welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi. Thanks for having me, Devon. It's Kris Loranger. I guess I should have mentioned that.
Loranger, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. Loranger's fine. I don't mind how you say it. It's just I've got a bad Canadian accent when you say it. So a bad orange. So if orange, it's orange. It's Loranger. Yeah.
Loranger.
Anyway,
Loranger.
yeah. But
Got you.
it's just my heritage, man. How you
I
doing? Thanks
appreciate
for
that.
having me.
I'm
Yeah.
great. I'm glad to have you here. And Kris, I want to let you know, just
Mm,
like we let all the other actors know, we love actors, right? You guys put in that hard work, do those auditions, send in these reels, and
Yeah.
you never know what part you're gonna get. And when you do get the part, to come into your like inner self and bring that out into the characters, it takes a whole lot. And we love actors. We love what you
Thank
do.
you. Thank you. I love actors too. They're great to work with.
Awesome, awesome. All right, Kris. So we have a bunch of projects here that you worked on. I
Yep.
am excited to talk about all of them. We're gonna try to get as much of them as we can possible within this time frame. But before we talk about those projects that you worked on,
Mhm.
Kris, if you could bring us back to the beginning, when did you know
Mhm.
that filmmaking, acting, being on a set was a career path for you?
Well, at a very young age, I decided that it was a good career path for me because it seemed such an impossible path to take. You know, I was like, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing something, might as well do something I want to do. And yeah, and I really kind of fell in love with it around like high school. I was getting involved in some plays in high school, and I wanted to do more with it. Um, and that continued out of high school. I got involved in a local improvising company to kind of work with other performers. And then after about a year or so, I went to a conservatory theater program in Red Deer, Alberta, which is like a small city in the province of Alberta. But they had a really good conservatory program for theater where they take 12 kids and you spend 2 years just focusing on theater. You do 4 productions a year and you work on scene study and you work on character development and you work on breath work and it was a really great place that I could really find who I wanted to be and where I wanted my career to go. So after that, yeah, then I just came back to my hometown, which is Edmonton, Alberta, and I just started working as much as I could do, whether it be theater or film or improv, anything I can get involved in, because it was just a great experience for me. It takes a lot of work, but it's really rewarding. So
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
yeah.
And that's a could you share with us that experience
Mhm.
from doing theater and film? Because it is two different, two different areas.
It's very different and the same in very weird ways. Like when you're doing theater, everything has to be a bit bigger because of the practicality of an audience has to see what you're doing and they can be X amount of distance from you. So you have to really pump up what you're feeling and what your goals are, what your objectives are. Um, but it also starts from the same place. You're just kind of amping it up on stage. But the core of it, the truth of it is where the real magic happens. And you can find that in film and in theater. You just it's the more specific you are with that truth, the better performance you have, the more you'll resonate with people. Yeah.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. All right, Chris. So now let's dive into this project. These are one of your earlier projects. This is a TV special, the Kenmore Park Riots.
Yeah, that's a long, long time ago. I think I was like fresh out of high school. It's one of the first projects that I did. And I was excited, green actor, happy to be on set. And it was pretty wild. I think I was playing Lieutenant Gaultier, and I was sent to this random location in the middle of a field, and I learned about a hurry up and wait because I was waiting for a long time in this like military outfit, right? They barely fit, but try to make the best of it. And suddenly I had to put on like these military boots, like knee high, they've never put on before, and they need me on set in like 15 minutes. So everyone's like, go, 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 go. And I'm like, oh, frick. Okay. How do you do this? It just barely fits. Oh, no. And yeah. And then, but then we shot it and then it was done. And then I never saw it again. I don't know what happened to that project. I don't know where it got shown, but that's how it works. Right. So I did that, got paid and went out my life. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. And could you share like
Mm.
how did you go after that project? So now that was like one of your earlier experiences. Did
It was, yeah. I was lucky enough to get an agent in town, Daryl Mork, and I've been with him for quite a long time, and he helped line up that project for me. So I don't know if you know how it works in the industry when an actor has an agent, the agent works for you and they submit you out to projects. And when they hear back or the project's interested in you, then they let you know and you put together, well, you go to audition. Back then, you would go to a physical audition and meet somebody in a room and you'd have 5 minutes to impress them with whatever you're doing. And then you may get a phone call and you
Mhm.
may never get a phone call. So that's how the world works. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. All right, Chris. So now I have this next project. Now, this next project is interesting, very interesting to me because I'm a huge wrestling fan. And
Okay.
I looked at the trailer, right?
Yeah.
And the wrestler that's in it, I guess gotta throw it out there, Chris Jericho, right? He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite wrestlers from Canada. You're from Canada. How
Yeah.
was the experience working on this? And the fact that your role that you play, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like giving it away. You play the cameraman, right?
I
That's like the
do.
best thing to do besides being a wrestler. I think being the
That
cameraman is
was
the best thing. So how was the experience working on that project?
that that was amazing. That just dropped into my lap. I happened to have some time in my hands, and my agent's like, "Hey, do you want to be a background extra for some money?" I'm like, "Sure." And I was happy to go to that set. That set was really well run. They treated the extras really well, which is a good sign of a good set. And that's run by a local company, Department 9 Studios, and they're working in Edmonton and they're making major budget films like Dark Match to distribute internationally and really make a name for themselves. And they did everything right on that film. It was really awesome. So we're there, and when you're background on set, you don't know what role you're going to have. Usually, just window dressing, stand here and don't move much. But they need some camera people, and so suddenly they give me like this '80s camera that I get to like. And I'm an old guy. I love these cameras. I haven't seen it in a long time. Like, oh, I know this. I know this camera works. And then they're like, "Hey, great. So your job is to film everything that's happening in the ring." And it so happens that I'm hired for like the climax of the movie with all the major wrestling fights, right? So they're like, great, we're gonna do this wrestling fight where they're gonna fight with glass, and you guys just film as best you can, and we're gonna fight with water, and they're gonna cut each other and knives and film the best you can, and then we're gonna light a guy on fire. Like they did everything right. They had a stunt guy. They did the proper set procedures. They were make sure they were extra safe, which is always an awesome sign on set. And yeah, they got a guy, they coated him up in this like fire gel, and like they want to make sure that as a camera guy I got a good shot of it. So like they lit him up and I'm like right there just focusing on watching the best thing like on set. And that was wild too, because that ring, there was a pyrotechnic company that hired that just went over the top because not only did they light somebody on fire, they had fire, like real fire shooting out of the sides of the ring and the center of the ring. It was just totally massive and crazy, right? So I was able to shoot that. And also, I became like the camera guy for Chris Jericho. So when he was talking, had a speech, it was my job just to kind of like film him. And he was the nicest guy. He was so easy to work with, and he was just so kind and welcoming, and everybody was just awesome. That's it. So yeah, it's a blast to do it. Um, yeah, and I worked for 3 of the 4 days. Unfortunately, I couldn't work the last day, where they did the main fight scene. But they were happy to shoot me close-ups so they could cut me in for that last scene. So I was still kind of present, even though I didn't get to see it, because that would have been a massive fight to actually see Chris fight. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Congratulations on getting that
Thanks,
part.
man.
Oh man, I love anything where like a wrestling movie is made. I'm just like so intrigued on like how did it come about and like even with these wrestlers get to be in it because that's a lot of
Mhm.
things where wrestlers become actors. So yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations
Well,
on that
it's
one.
performance, right? Wrestling's
Mm-hmm.
performance, and it kind of carries over. And I think Stephen Ogg is on the show, I think. And at one point, he's in the ring and he's talking to Chris, like, how do I do this match properly? And Chris is giving advice, right? So they're trading advice with each other and both learning because they're both in the industry. So it's kind of cool. They're just share skills, and then you're part of this unique experience that you wouldn't have anywhere else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. All right, Chris. So now we're gonna get into this next project. It's a short film. It's titled "The Return of the Phoenix."
Yeah. Yeah, that is by a friend of mine who works in town as um yeah. Uh frick, I want to say Stephen Page. Yeah. Is his name. I'm gonna look that up because I want to make sure I get his name right. But yeah, he's a local filmmaker.
Mhm.
And he's a passionate filmmaker, you know? He's he is he's just making films for the sake of making films. He's like, get it done.
Mhm.
The guy is just he likes to do cosplay, um, and he likes to uh he wants to make a name himself. He likes the industry so much. He's made a lot of short films, and he approached me out of the blue if I'd be involved in this film for him. Yeah, Stephen Pace. That's right, Stephen Pace. I want to make sure to get his name right because he's an awesome friend. Yeah, and he had involved this little scene in this film, and I was happy to do it for him. And that's a bare bones shoot, but the passion was right there, right? Like he was working really hard to get a good DOP and some good people and a lot of volunteer people working on this film to make it work. And he did. He made a great little short film that is distributed now. It's on YouTube. You can go watch it. And he's approached me again. I just worked with him again on another project that's it's called A Touch of Poison. It's a Batman fan film.
Awesome.
So yeah, I got to be a Commissioner Gordon, which was really fun. So and a
Awesome.
little classic Commissioner Gordon with Batman behind me and all the dialogue back and forth, and it was just really fun. So yeah, that's coming out soon. That'll be like on YouTube at some point that everyone can watch. Because yeah, he's not in it for the profit, he's in it for the passion. And that's great because I just keep telling, like, if you want to be a movie maker, just make movies and you just keep making movies and then things get better. Like he's every time he does a show, he has a different crew with him. And then he learns about that crew and there's a different crew. So he's learning more and more people in the industry that he can work with. So he has a bright future, that guy.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
the way to go. All right, Chris,
Yeah.
before we jump into these next projects, we like to give the guests, a chance
Mm.
to connect themselves with the audience. So if the audience wanted to check out some of your projects, look at your reel, check out your website, where can they find you at?
I have a website. You can just find my name. It's Chris with a K, Kris, Loranger. And I know that sounds complicated at the top of the show, hard to say, whatever. It's actually just the word orange with an L at the front, R at the end. So it's Chris Loranger, so L orange R, and at .com. And that's got my demo reel. That's got some clips to some trailers that I'm in, and info how to contact me. And you can always look me up at IMDb, or you can follow me on Instagram, which is Chris Loranger at Instagram. So yeah.
Awesome. We'll get that website in the description so everyone can
Sure.
check you
That'd be
out
great.
and get
Thank you.
connected with you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Chris. So now we're at this next project. It's titled Ditched. How was the experience
Yeah.
working on that project?
Oh, that was amazing. So that came out of so at this time we're doing self-tapes because I don't know if your viewers know, post-COVID,
Mm-hmm.
things moved a lot from in person to basically filming your own tape of your audition and sending it in. And I had a monologue for this character Franson as a psychotic killer. And I sent it in, and then I forgot about it because that's what you do. You send it in and you try and move on with your life. You get an audition, you care about it a lot, you do all the work for it, you tape it, you send it in, then you do your best to forget about it. So I was doing that, but just when I did forget about it, I got a call back, and that was back in Red Deer in Alberta, because a lot of the film industry in Alberta is in Edmonton and in Calgary, so Red Deer is right in the middle. So they had all the callbacks meet there, and I did my audition there, and again tried to forget about it. Really excited about it. Really met people, and yeah, they were really happy to cast me. They were really excited with the job I did and the take I did, and so and uh and then I thought they'd be in touch. And it's one of those projects I didn't know what was going on with it. I didn't know how big a role I had. I just had the audition, and usually these auditions are like, I'll get a few days on set, be a little small character. When I finally got the script, I realized I was like on every other page. I'm like, oh hi, this is interesting. So that was really exciting. And that was all night shoots in a forest outside of Edmonton, um, which is always kind of bizarre when you get these set locations. They're like, drive to this location on the Google Maps, and trust me, there'll be people there. It's like you're driving to the middle of nowhere, and then you start seeing trailers. Like, okay, this is great. But yeah, they treat me really well, and that was a movie that I spent the entire time strapped to a gurney, so in a ambulance. But I got to work with Christopher Donaldson, who is an amazing guy out of Vancouver. He's mainly a storyboard artist. If you look him up, he's done some major projects that he storyboarded for, such as The Abandons and some other really huge film projects. And this is his other pursuit in directing. So I was really lucky to work with him. He's a good friend now. And we made a really beautiful little film that was shot just before COVID actually hit. So, but we were still on set. We didn't have a lot of COVID protocols because COVID didn't actually hit yet. And then it did, and we were one of the few films that actually got picked up by international distribution, and it got sent around to all these festivals that I couldn't go to because COVID was happening, so I had to stay home. But it went around the world, and it's been internationally distributed to like Germany and the UK, and I was really happy to see that thing take legs and go somewhere because it's a great little film. It's a very B horror film, but it's a really fun one. Yeah, if you're into horror, it's something you should go check out. You can actually, you can stream it on all the services, or you can watch it for free on YouTube if you look it up. I think it's on Tubi too. Yeah, so
Awesome. Congratulations on that one as well. All right, Chris, so before we get into these last two projects,
Mhm.
I have to ask, who or what inspires you to keep going as an actor?
um, it's something I fall in love with. Like when you really care about it, about pursuing something, you have a relationship with it, and you get inspired by those that are real, that really nail it down, that really got it, that find the truth. It's a weird business because although it's a lot of, we're playing and we're impersonating people, we're performing, we're always searching for a character's truth and who they are, and it's kind of the truth of life, because that's what we're trying to recreate, so connect to an audience outside the camera. If I connect to a real moment in this scene, somebody watching will connect, and then they'll move them and feel something, and we'll share something, which is really awesome. um there's a rare time I was in college, and I did one of the plays that I did. I was lucky enough to be cast as the lead in a Jekyll and Hyde play, and and out of the blue, a weeks later in college, someone just came up to me and just broke down how moved they were by my performance. Complete stranger, and I was like, "Wow, I moved somebody. I impacted somebody. That's really cool." Um, yeah, and I just it's a hard business. It takes a lot of work. It's not something that you make a profit easy on, but it's really rewarding in so many ways. And yeah, because I love it, when I fail at it, I just dust myself off and try again, because that's how you get good at something. You have to fail and you have to get back up.
That is true. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. All right, so now we're at this project. It's titled Last Stop Video Rentals. How's the
Yeah.
experience on that
Oh,
one?
that was great. Last Up Video Rentals was shot in one of the last remaining video stores in the province, in Spruce, no, I want to say Stony Plain, which is just outside Edmonton. Edmonton has a lot of small towns outside of it, and Stony Plain has a really amazing a video store, which is apparently doing okay because the kids these days like the VHS. They like the physical media, which is interesting. Um, and this was a send up of Clerks. You ever seen Clerks? Kind
Mhm.
of the same idea, right? But instead of a convenience store, it's a video store, and it's the stories about these kids and their day in a video store. The Before the premiere of the Phantom Menace, the first prequel Star Wars movie, because the main character is all obsessed about seeing it. Um, and yeah, which is ironic because at my age, I was playing the store manager in the movie, but in the actual time period, I would be the age of the characters because
Mhm.
to see the movie, right? Um, yeah, and so and I got to play a really I was really allowed to play a really fun, off the wall kind of manager character, and he sets up the story and then goes and comes back. But it's a quirky film. It's a cool film. I really hope it finds an audience, because it's a comedy film, but it's an unusual, like, quirky comedy film. So, but it's really good. And um, Eric Jambier, who put the project together and directed it, he shot it all on black and white film, like actual film stock that he filmed and then sent off to get processed and come back. So it's a classic experience that is rare to see in theaters these days. So if you do hear about it, please go see it. I think you're in for a treat.
Awesome. Go check it out. Last Stop Video Rentals.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Now we're at this project. This is a TV series. It's titled The Abandons.
Yeah. Oh my God. The Abandons is like the second biggest production I have ever been on. in my
Mhm.
life, and it was amazing. Again, self-tape audition, just send it off and you don't know where it's gonna go, try and forget about it. And then my agent let me know that they were interested. I got pinned, which I don't know if you know the terminology, but that means that you get shortlisted, basically. And so it's a possible thing. And then when I finally got it, it was amazing. Um, when I finally got out to set, it was filmed in Calgary. They treated me so well, and they're really excited to have me. I was excited to be there, um, and film stuff like that are great. This industry is so crazy because if you can audition all you want, and if they don't pick you, you have to remember it's not personal because
Mhm.
you have a casting agent looking through hundreds or thousands of audition videos going, nope, 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 nope. But if they do pick you, it's incredibly personal because they want you and your performance. And so then you're welcomed into a whole world of like other actors and producers and directors, people that are like immersed in this, living it 24/7. And it is a great place to live. Like, it was great. I was excited to be on set all the time and to be involved with everybody. And I was really lucky that this production cast me and then kept me in the film. Um, it's a huge production, and after they made a lot of decisions with it, like they had some issues with the showrunner. That's public. I'm not going to get any more details about that, but as a result, they made a lot of edits, and that's the big business. You shoot a lot of stuff and they use a little bit, and you're lucky that they use a little bit. So my friends, they didn't use it all. So I'm really happy and really fortunate to be part of that production, and to be on that set. Um, yeah, I was listening to a podcast with Nathan Fillion. Do you know Nathan Fillion? Yeah. Um, he's from Edmonton, and he's gone off to LA, and he's had a big career. He's been involved in a lot of like the DC movies and the Marvel universe, and I think he's on The Recruit. He's the main guy in The Recruit right now. Or is it? No, The Rookie. Sorry, The Rookie. The TV show, the cop TV show. And he mentioned when he's being interviewed that he likes to remember that he's in this business. You have to like focus on being lucky, and by that he means like having the right skills at the right moment when someone casts you, right?
Mhm.
So like a lot of factors work in this industry, and so like to be prepared when they come knocking and saying we want to see you, and then show them that you're your best, and then they cast you. There's so many decisions that have to happen for that to happen, and so I just feel so very fortunate that I'm involved in the industry and that I get jobs such as The Abandoned.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's definitely a valuable insight for everyone that's listening.
Yeah.
All right, Kris, we're at the part of the episode where I ask this question. What is a book, a TV show, or a film that you recommend?
Okay. Let's see. I would recommend True and False by David Mamet. Um, David Mamet is a playwright. He's known for some really amazing works. And this book, he kind of goes into some of the truth and straight shooting about acting and how to act. You know, um, there's there's a lot of books about acting out there, and this is one that is a really really good read. Um, yeah, if you know Glenn Ross at all, that's a David Mamet play. Um, and yeah, he's just one of one of the playwrights I really respect. And as a theater actor, I respect his work, and as a film actor, I respect his work. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. All right, everyone. That's been our episode today of Inside Plug. Kris, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your journey with us.
Again, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, everyone. You know where to find us. We're here every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Remember, stay inspired and keep creating. Inside Plug, signing out.